Hello, everybody. Blessed be. Blessed be. Hello. This is High Priestess Jamila, and I'm going to take this discussion in the kitchen. And in a few minutes, and hopefully some of y'all are up, because I know I've been up working the graveyard shift, which y'all know what that means, right? When you're a witch and you're working the graveyard shift, that means it's a shift that's happening. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm here to talk about a beloved psychic that passed. I want to talk about Sylvia Browne. I've been wanting to, I feel like I done got through a bunch of dark clouds and stuff, and I can finally come on here and talk about a subject that I'm really, really passionate about. So, my creative juices is really flowing, and they're going to keep flowing. Hello, blessed be. I want to talk about Sylvia Browne for a minute. And I know I've been saying I'm going to come on here and talk about Sylvia Likens, but I got to do some work before I can talk about that. But I want to talk about Sylvia Browne and just a little bit about her, and then faith over everything, because I had an experience a few minutes ago. Well, not a few minutes ago, about 30 minutes ago, that was really, really pivotal, especially being that I have a dual signage, right? I'm a Cancer sun, but I'm on the cusp of Gemini. And Sylvia Browne was a Libra, actually, which meant that she was very close to being a Scorpio. Like, she could have been a Scorpio, okay? And so she was a dual sign. And it's something very interesting about dual signs. And so I actually, first of all, it is absolutely heartbreaking and disgraceful when I see people degrading Sylvia Browne, because I think that she left a very important legacy. She left a really, really, really important legacy, Sylvia Browne. She did. And I want to talk about that today. I'm going to break this down for y'all today. So, first of all, I actually really like Sylvia Browne. I wasn't like a diehard Montel Williams fan. Well, I liked Montel Williams. I actually still do. I have nothing against him. And I never had anything against Sylvia Browne. And, at the end of the day, Montel Williams still stands by Sylvia Browne, and I do too. I think that there are a lot of people that don't understand that when you start to commercialize psychism and psychics and witches and our spiritual gifts, there can always be cracks or holes in that. Okay. And I think that what we are going to learn about her legacy is faith over everything. And a lot of people, even some of your most diehard religious people, tend to lose faith. And faith is everything. I just had an experience with faith, the actual spirit of faith, because faith is an actual spirit. Depends on what you have faith in, though. I think some people have faith in very false things that are not a part of their divine path. And I think that that's where people get lost. But with Sylvia, I actually, I feel a connection with her. I actually really like her. Like, when I hear her talk, and when I see her, it feels like she has that mother energy to her. Like, almost like, I feel like her energy was like Mother Mary, right? And there's been videos that have been put up about Sylvia Browne, and I'm not knocking nobody about their opinion. Everybody has the right to have their opinion. But I think that the reason why they're still talking about her is because it is meant to make us actually think. So when it comes to Sylvia Browne, this lady has an amazing legacy. This lady was a very important figure in the spiritual community for what, over 40 years? And I absolutely believe in her gifts. Absolutely. She's worth $1.5 million, which most people can't say that they have a net worth of $1.5 million. Most people can't say that. They have been working really hard to, like, for some reason, destroy her legacy. And the reason why they're trying to destroy her legacy is because, okay, so of course, if you become a very famous psychic, you may have, and I'm talking about psychic, you may end up having like a 95% accuracy rate, right? And the reason why is because readings are subjective, they can always change. And so, that's one of the reasons why, um, you can't necessarily, I mean, let's say that you go to a psychic and they tell you that you're going to die next week and you don't die. And you're like, hey, that psychic was wrong. I want my money back. Are you going to ask for your money back because you didn't die? So that's actually pretty amazing if a psychic gives you a prediction that changes, right? So they discredited her over two very famous cases. One of them was where, and I apologize, I can't think of these people's names, but there was a guy that had kidnapped. It was a really high profile story, really high profile. And so this guy had kidnapped these women, kept them locked up in a house, and was raping them and doing all kind of weird, freaky, perverted shit to them. And I think that, I can't remember if Sylvia Browne had told her mother that she was dead, right? And so when we think about death, we only think about death in the physical sense. But Sylvia was still very accurate in that reading. Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second here. So Sylvia was very accurate in that reading because that girl that was found, she did die. She did die. And she's probably still experiencing issues now to where she needs to have her soul retrieved. Because if you go through a lot of trauma like that, your spirit is going to leave the body. Even if it's a little trauma, your spirit will leave the body. So Sylvia was still accurate in that reading. Although they found her physical body alive, she escaped. She knew who she was, but she did die. She went through a lot of changes, right? So a lot of people would say, oh, well, Sylvia was inaccurate. She was only inaccurate twice with these high profile cases, right? So they discredited her for that. And then there was, and the mother was really hurt, which the mother was going to experience that pain anyway, regardless if she had went to Sylvia or not, which is kind of why I think that if you are searching for a loved one, it's really important that if you go to a psychic reader, that you go to one that's not as high profile, is what I will say. But I can imagine that mother, and the mother, so this is what ended up happening to the mother. The mother died like a year later, thinking that her daughter was dead, which was, it had nothing to do with her getting a psychic reading. She may have gotten depressed over her daughter dying. It's sad because, again, If I, being a mother, was in that situation and I went to a psychic that told me that my child was dead, but they had not found her body, I would still have faith. So there's a lot to that story, but the reason why Sylvia Browne was the hanged one is because that woman died like a year later, and they didn't find that little girl until after her mother had died. And so that's why they hung her. And then there was another high profile case, which it was less profile, but the guy, it was a mother, her son was dying of cancer, and the doctor said he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. So she goes to Sylvia Browne live on TV and asks her, "Is my son going to make it?" And Sylvia said he's going to make it. He's going to have a full recovery. I don't care what the doctor said. Sylvia said it. She said, "I don't care what the doctor said. Your son's going to make it." But the son dies anyway, right? He dies after that reading. And it was something that was kind of funny about that story and disingenuous about that story. But let's assume that it was the truth. Let's assume that that story was real. If somebody told you that you were dying, would you believe it? So I had an experience with a negative spirit. Sylvia gave her a message from spirits that were very positive and hopeful, right? And so the lady leaves, goes back, her son dies days later. How much faith did that lady have in those messages that she got? Because if you really have faith, then if you go to a psychic and they tell you that your child is going to make it and they don't, then why would you come back? Like, first of all, if my goddamn, if you ever, if someone, let's not, yeah, that's why I knocked on wood. If someone had a child that passed away, you would think that if it was really genuine, that they would be so inconsolable that they would not be thinking about no damn Sylvia Browne. This lady came and did interviews, and so that's why I believe that she was very disingenuous. How much faith did her son have? What was he putting his faith in? So, for example, I had to banish a spirit that gave me a really, really negative message. And so I banished that spirit. And then another spirit took over. And this spirit had foresight that was very positive. And this just happened to me about 30 or 45 minutes ago. And then that's when I started thinking about Sylvia Browne for some reason. And I decided to come here and do this live and speak about this. Sylvia Browne was not a fraud. Neither was who was the lady? Call me now. She wasn't a fraud either. I don't know why I can't never think of that lady's name. She wasn't a fraud either. Sylvia Browne was not a fraud. However, she was under a tremendous amount of pressure to give these readings. And I believe that the reading that she gave was accurate, but I believe that it was too late. It was too late for him to turn back because the son was really sick. The son was basically, I mean, and so we don't know what happened after the lady walked away, went back to the hospital. Maybe there could have been something more that could have been done. And see, that's why when I don't know if y'all remember last month, I think yeah, it was in the month of June. I watched fried green. It was fried green tomatoes. I think it was. No, it wasn't fried green tomatoes. It was the other one. What was the name of that movie that came out? And I didn't remember. It was the one with Julia Roberts that dies in the movie, and I was like, I don't remember her dying in that movie. It was like a Mandela theory effect or something, because I just didn't remember her dying, and it was extremely disturbing and sad. That movie just really got to me that night. And faith is everything. I believe in having faith. And I believe in whatever it is that you're doing, you have to have faith in it. So being a psychic is totally different from having faith in God, even though I believe that a lot of psychics have been ordained by God. I believe that people that claim that psychics are evil and that we should kill them, I believe that that's bullshit. Y'all know how I feel. Um, being a psychic witch, I understand being a psychic and then being a witch, right? And there is a difference between being a psychic and being a witch and being a healer. So my whole point of this is that how do we know that Sylvia Browne was wrong? And then how do we know about the afterlife? What do we know about the afterlife? What do we know? I mean, we can go by people that have had near-death experiences, but what do we really know about what happens when people die? How do we know that they don't go? Like, I believe in reincarnation, but how do we know that God is not doing something different? How do we know that God is not moving these people to a different reality sometimes? So, like, for example, when people die, do they go truly to a better place? Are they given that information? Are they given that understanding prior to that? Especially people that die really violently. Because I had a cousin that died really violently. And, I know that this subject is very sensitive to some people. I wonder if you guys can still, I hope I'm not breaking up. What the heck is going on with my audience? YouTube be glitching out sometimes, and I just want to say this to my audience real quick before I continue this discussion. I'm in the kitchen now. You're going to put some potatoes in the oven. I feel like having some roasted potatoes. I don't know. It's so weird. I can't wait until this whole stormy weather passes. I just want to say that about the views real quick without getting into detail. There's too many people that are waiting for me to respond to the stalker on here. And stalkers don't deserve any acknowledgement. So I think that that's what the disappointment is. I think that we need to be careful with we need to be careful with giving stalkers that was like a one-shot deal kind of. What the hell? These are sprouting. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna do this. I think there's too many people on here right now that are viewing that are expecting me to respond to a stalker, and I'm not doing it. It's not what I'm here for. So maybe that's why my views are kind of low on this live, because people are expecting me to give validation to somebody that doesn't deserve it, doesn't deserve my acknowledgement. So if that's why you are subscribed to this channel, you may want to, yeah. What the hell? Anyway, back to my discussion about Sylvia Browne and, being a psychic. Okay. Readings are subjective. They can always change. And it doesn't mean that she's a fraud. I think a lot of people that are in this world, they like to discredit stuff. I was gonna say something else. They like to discredit psychics a lot. And I think that it has a lot to do with that one verse in the Bible, which, it is what it is. She gave, years and years of her life to her work, and is worth a lot of money. For somebody to be worth $1.5 million, most people on this earth are never going to be able to say that. They ain't going to never be able to say that I'm worth $1.5 million. So it's this, God, I hope that my stuff ain't breaking up. It's this weird obsession with, constantly, and I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm constantly being harassed on here. But when you think about some of the people that are harassing me, am I not telling the truth about them? So anyway, faith is everything. No matter what you're doing, you need to have faith in it. Okay. So, and let's keep it a buck. Sylvia Browne didn't do some intricate ritual to keep that lady's son alive. And even with that little girl that was missing, I think it's crazy that instead of the world being happy that the little girl was found alive, okay, physically alive, I'm surprised that instead of the world feeling blessed because of that, they would rather take that story and discredit a psychic, which is strange to me. Strange as hell, right? The world that we live in. So anyway, I feel very strongly about this because I think that that's what's wrong in the world, is lack of faith. Okay? I really do. Is people, just doing things but not actually having faith in it. People going to church but not actually having faith in God and not even being close to God. Okay? Or, whatever you consider to be the Most High, because there's people that have different ideas of it. And so, all right, I got that in the oven. Hopefully so whatever it is that you give power to, it's important to have faith in it, no matter what it is. Okay. And it is what it is. Okay. And I think that people need to stop being obsessed with constantly, trying to discredit people. Obviously the lady wasn't too much of a fraud. She has her own corporation. She's sold many, many books. She's made more accurate predictions than she has inaccurate. Okay. So if you're a psychic, you're not going to always be 100% accurate, right? I can, and there have been times when I have done readings on certain situations and I've came back and admitted, well, I was wrong about that. I wasn't wrong about the case that they had. I don't know why I can't remember this little girl's name. It was a high profile murder case. The social media couple that went on the road trip, and the boyfriend murdered the girlfriend, and so we all knew that she was murdered. uh there wasn't really much trauma to the body, so we kind of all could have guessed that it was a fixation. But it was still confirmed. I was able to confirm that that is how she died, was from lack of oxygen. If you look at the reading, you can see where the cards were extremely accurate. If you go and look at that reading, I'll put a link to it in the comment section, and you can just tell that when we lay down these cards, they're very accurate. Now, see, that's another thing, is that Sylvia Browne had gotten older and she wasn't using the cards at the time. I think that maybe if she would have been using the cards, I think that in those two cases, maybe she could have been a little bit more accurate. But let's go back to the first case that she was wrong about. And I'm sorry that I can't remember any of these people's names, but it was the girl that had gotten kidnapped. And, that girl did die. She did. But not in a physical sense. And I think that if the mother would have lived to see the daughter again, she would have noticed the changes in her. Um, a lot of ritual abuse and things of that nature are factually being done to fragment a person, to take certain energies from them, and even sometimes the entire soul can be taken from a person. And so for that one, I would say that she was not inaccurate, but I think that it wasn't enough information. I think that it was like a 5 minute, oh, she's gone, which she was. If somebody were to kidnap you and tie you up in their basement, like, you're gonna be there, but you're gonna be gone. And that's why I've been thinking about that Sylvia Likens case. And I've been meaning to come on here and talk about that Gertrude chick. Like, we are being haunted. Like, it's her spirit is still roaming around. Like, that chick was that lady was messed up. That lady was messed up. Let me tell you. And I've been thinking about doing a reading, but it's some other shit that I gotta do first. But that lady, like, her spirit still roams around. It's just a real nasty, real funky, nasty, disgusting, dark spirited, dark female spirit that just had hatred for Sylvia Lycan. And so anyway, back to what I was talking about. I think I'm gonna buy a couple of Sylvia Browne's books, because I don't think that she was a fraud. I just think that she guessed wrong a couple of times. And I think that they were seemingly wrong. She guessed seemingly wrong. I think that if she would have still been alive, because Sylvia Browne passed away in 2013, a lot of the spiritual information that that we have now is just now being revealed to a lot of people. Like, it's been known for but not too many people kind of understood what was happening with everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So not too many people knew. Like, I'd say that back in 2020, in 2020 was when this information first started being known to the spiritual community, actually being known. which is all about, soul snatching, walk-ins, spiritual feeding, parasitic feeding. We just got that enlightenment. So Sylvia Browne passed away in 2013, but she was a badass psychic of her time. And I feel bad for her, the way that they're disgracing her, you know. But her legacy is still very strong. It really is. It's still very strong. I wouldn't be talking about her if it wasn't. And so Sylvia Browne herself, her spirit didn't contact me, but some of her guides that we have in common contacted me and wanted me to come and talk about it. So I was, because I asked Spirit, I said, was her spirit making contact with me? No, she done already, passed through. It's been almost 10 years since Sylvia Browne passed away. And so, it is what it is. People need to quit. And that brings me to the consciousness of YouTube. I want to say this before I wrap up this conversation. I am not here to validate a stalker. Every time this person does anything, people are expecting me to respond, and I'm not. I'm not responding directly to what it is doing, because as far as I'm concerned, it's irrelevant to my life. But I noticed that people on YouTube, and this is not going to make a difference to my company or what I'm doing or my workings. It's not. But I noticed that whenever this person who I have no connection with does anything, I'm expected to respond, and I'm not going to keep responding to this person. So I think that whoever, his handlers are, or whoever is handling that situation, needs to accept that and move on. Okay. And I personally think it's somebody down at the actual corporate office of YouTube. I don't have to keep responding to that person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I just noticed that the community expects for me to respond to this person every time they do anything. I already beat him. He's already defeated. That demon got defeated 5 years ago, damn near. That's another thing. Ooh, let's talk about that real quick. This is something, because when I work with a client, I always give them information in spiritual counseling. When I do a working for you, like for example, a curse removal, or a binding or whatever, this is very important for you to understand this. Once it is done, it is done. There's no need to continue to go back to it. What ends up happening is that if you've been involved in a situation for so long, your mind starts to be put in that brain entrainment. Kind of like when it's a generational curse. If you were raised in a certain environment or seeing certain things and you broke the chains of that, sometimes your memory of what was happening is still there. So you have to retrain the brain, which is the mind, as well as the body and the spirit. So that's, for example, like if you went through like your past life regressions. Some people live out their entire past life, like they're just walking in the past. And and that past life may not have been good. It may have been a fucked up past life, but they're walking in it. They're walking in that past life energy, right? Once they start to get past life regression work, and this is whether or not you come to a spiritualist or either you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Okay, typically I think that's a psychologist or maybe even a therapist that helps with that. Once you start going to them, and it's got to be somebody really, really trusted. But once you start going to somebody to get that help, now you have to actually own it and walk in it and get your mind to not experience the same trauma. Because even though the trauma is no longer there anymore, which, oh boy, didn't traumatize me, other stuff traumatized me. But it's we're moving on, we're moving forward over here. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna say this to the community, that I'm not gonna continuously, and see, that's where I have to call on my spirits of liberation, because I don't have to validate this person every time they do something. I'm not going to give this person that power over me. Don't let that person have that power over you, to expect for me to respond every time this person says anything. What this person needs to do is to just move on, because there's nothing that it's dead. It's a dead issue. It's a dead situation. It's dead. Hey Z, hey girly. Z says, I am obsessed with Sylvia Browne from Montel Williams show. I ordered almost all of her books on Amazon. Yeah, I actually like her. Like, she got sick towards the end of her life, and I believe that she died of cancer. But she was an amazing psychic, and I believe Montel Williams still stands by her. And they're making like I understand that people have their opinions, and I respect everybody's right to have their opinion. But I think that you got to look at it from a different angle. You have to look at it from you have to look at it through the eyes of spirit. So I am like being that spirit works through me. Spirit wanted me to come on here and sort of defend Sylvia Browne, because you know what I'm saying. Thank you, Z. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, her son is actually on YouTube, and he's carrying forward his mother's legacy. And so yeah, I think that that's great. I think that I totally believe in her gifts. I think that um, I believe that if Sylvia Browne, knew witchcraft, she'd probably still be here. Who knows? Who knows? Sometimes it's just, it may be your time to go. What else was I going to say about that though? See, here's another thing. Um, we got the right now where I am gearing towards in my practice is doing more spiritual research, and that's going to involve travel. Yeah. And that's going to be coming up real soon. Travel for me, as far as traveling to haunted places and things of that nature. You know what, Z? Actually, when I threw the cards earlier, I did get the Hanged Man and the Devil card in the inverted position. So I think that she might have been a sacrifice. She might have been. I'd have to find out though. Who knows? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Fuck a secret society. They're weak. If they were strong, they wouldn't be a secret. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is just stupid to me. Fuck a secret society. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really have no faith. Not saying that you shouldn't keep secrets. Like, some secrets do need to be kept to yourself. Hello, but I just, that whole secret society thing is just like, get out of here. uh Oh yeah, yeah. She will always have her credibility. I don't understand why they're trying to destroy her credibility. It may just be a YouTube thing. It may be a dig at her son, which I don't have shit to do with that. Don't involve me. I'm just giving my opinion and telling y'all what spirit is talking about. And so I'm actually not giving an opinion or a judgment either way of any of those people involved. What I am saying is that if you look at her and what happened with her, it's still a lesson in faith. Because I don't have this experience anymore, and I hope I never experience this again. I have done exorcism incantations on people that had felt like I was getting ready to just fall over. But it was that faith, it was that connection with God, because every single time I do one of them, I can feel God's presence big time, and I can feel his connection to me and God's and goddess, or whichever one that is present at that time. I can always feel that protection. I can feel that strength coming from the Most High, and whoever my ascended masters are, which I'm not going to really get into. Yeah, yeah. I don't, and you know what I'm saying? Like that. See, and that's what I'm not involving myself in. So I'm gonna say that right now. I ain't got nothing to do with whatever beef they got with Sylvia Browne, because that lady is passed on and gone. What I am simply speaking of is the whole incidence of psychics guessing wrong sometimes, or what they seemingly guess wrong. And so immediately when because I was looking at videos about her like maybe a month ago, and then I got off into something else, but it was like a whole month ago where I was looking at videos, and I was sort of dissecting it and decoding it, and I was like, wait a minute, she wasn't wrong about that little girl's daughter. She wasn't wrong about that. And, I can imagine that if we see that girl today, she's seeming, and I hope that she got spiritual help for that, because that wasn't nothing but that wasn't, I don't want to say the devil, because, I don't really believe in that, but that wasn't nothing but some evil. That was evil what happened to that little girl when she got, uh, kidnapped and all that crap happened to her. And it was more than just her. And I haven't really delved into the story in years, so I don't remember all of the exact details, because stuff like that, I tend to, because the devil is in the details, I tend to forget about the details because it's disgusting and I can't believe that happened. But I can imagine that if we look at how she is doing today, if she's doing good, it may seem like it on the outside. And so maybe I'll do an update on that. Maybe I'll take a look at her and kind of, because I'll be able to tell by looking at her if she's doing good or not. I'll be able to tell by hearing her, seeing her. I'm pretty sure that she has a family, but I'm pretty sure that she is very haunted by that experience. And so I wonder how she's really doing. And so that's what I was focusing on when I heard the story. And I think that a lot of people just look at things, and they look at things at surface value. So they'll say, oh, well, she was found alive. And that's good. That's amazing. Like, I'm so happy that they found her alive. But what is really going on inside of her? What is she really experiencing after escaping that? What is the actual aftermath of it? Because we don't exactly know what she could be going through right now. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Z. Thank you. You my only fan in here today, okay? You my only fan present today. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like it, though. I like, because I be getting overwhelmed with it. I don't see how some of y'all be having like 3, 4, 500 people. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Um, that's a good question. That is a good question. There was a reason why her spirit couldn't come to me, because she didn't come to me directly. Let's ask the cards real quick. Okay. Oh, what, I want to use my other deck. Where's my other deck? Here it is. Yeah, I'll use this one. Okay. All right, spirit guides, what messages do you have about Sylvia? Is her spirit like in torment at all? Where are you seeing her at now? I did ask earlier, and I did get the devil in the inverted position. But then I can't remember. I think it was the Fool. So very often when people pass on, sometimes they do pass through hell, and they go back. They go to another plane. Everybody that goes to hell don't necessarily stay in hell. I think it depends on your beliefs. Hold on, because a bunch of cards fell. I don't know if I want to trust these that fell. So I'm going to ask a simple yes or no. Cards are just falling out. The Tower fell out. Spirit guides, do you see Sylvia Browne's spirit being tortured or tormented? Yes or no? Where is she at and who is she with? I got a yes answer. I got the Tower, a lot of major arcanas. The Tower upright, the King of Wands upright, the Death card upright. The World card is in the reverse position, and the Judgment card. Where is she at right now? The Fool inverted, Page of Wands inverted, the Moon upright, Six of Wands, and the Chariot. So she's kind of stuck between worlds. She's traveling. She's flying. She's flying. Okay. But she is upset about what, so I am definitely channeling her. She is kind of upset about people, um, and the Fool card talks about faith. She hasn't moved on yet, which is weird. That's strange. A lot of major arcanas here. She's definitely got her guardian angel is still with her though. Comes up as this King of Wands. Oh, you can't see that. It's too, oh, there it goes. This is her guardian angel right here. This King of Wands is really, really overprotective of her. And then I got these cards too. Very interesting. So she's not in heaven and she's not in hell. She might have went to the moon. Might be where she at. Or either flying over, a lot of times when I do seances and readings for people of people that have passed, I will often get the sun and the moon. And so the sun and the moon are actually closest to this planet. So that, I kind of believe that when people pass on, they can go to other places like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can see her surrounded by guardian angels. And she was a really important person. The World card is in the inverted position. And so I can just tell that, this spirit message came through me today it's a message of faith. Okay, it is. And, also, I do know that when people pass on, they do honestly, they go So a lot of them go to another place. They do go somewhere for judgment or whatever, but they do go to a better place. And so I think that, like, look at my cat being weird over there, y'all. What are you doing? Look at her, y'all. Look at her. Mary, what are you doing, girlie? They do go, and so a lot of people feel like, oh God, the world is so messed up. I want to get out of here. You know, it's not that you're fighting, it's that you're winning. And so, I don't want to leave this reality as bad as it is. I don't want to leave it because I feel like everybody creates their own reality, essentially. And that you shouldn't let people create realities for you. Okay. Um, no, I don't think that she is. I asked earlier if she was in my home, and I don't think so. She may have traveled in here. I don't sense a bad spirit. I do sense several spirits in here right now. None of them are bad. She might be. Look at this cat. This cat is doing some strange things. And what the hell is she looking at? Mary, what are you looking at? So she looking at something on the wall. Mary. Oh no, baby. Negative spirits come in and they go out. My cat, she will eliminate a lot of stuff out of here. And what she'll usually do is she'll go, if she can't get to her litter box, like she removed a bad spirit that came in here like a week ago, and she went in there and used her litter box, and her litter box doesn't stink at all because there's the stuff that I use for her box. And you know, what are you looking at, little one? I'd say that a couple of spirits came in here. Probably one of them was that damn Gertrude, because she, oh Lord. I don't mean to be disrespectful, just in case her family is watching. No disrespect intended with saying it like that. Um, Spirit God, did Sylvia's brown spirit come over here at the time when I started this live? She wasn't here. Yes or no? Because my spirits protect me to point. Oh yeah, she did come over here. What messages does she have for us, spirit guides? A lot of times when spirits come in, there is y'all. I'm not kidding you. I have several angels, several that are extremely, in particular, Saint Michael, extremely. So if and her spirit is not bad, I don't feel that, but it was a few other spirits that came in. Um, but what messages does Sylvia Browne have? Okay. Interesting. Tell me something I don't know, Sylvia. Well, she says she's definitely not on the moon, but that she wanted to say that she's with God. But what is this about? She's saying that she's traveling. That's what she's saying. She's trying to give me some kind of advice on something that's unwelcome. But other than that, um, this is Knight of Cups and then the Star card. Oh, she's giving me a compliment. I definitely don't really want no fame. I don't, y'all, mm-mm. I guess I could be a famous witch, but as far as like all that stuff, like, just like the movie goes, Patrick Swayze used the cat as protection from the burglar to stop her from being murdered. Yeah, that's true. Well, and she's gone. Mary, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Mary? She done went somewhere. So anyway, it's all about fate. And she's still, oh, there she is. What are you doing, kitty? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Well, I just think that the trolls need to accept that I'm definitely authentic, and so was Sylvia Browne. And I'm not here for a joke show. I'm not here to clown around, and so that's why I was mentioning earlier that I'm not going to be responding to trolls because I think that person is a troll. I think anybody that does the things that some people do on here, they're trolling or still trolling, and I'm not going to continuously, yeah, because I won't even be watching stuff like that. So, if you're a follower of mine or if you enjoy my content, just come here and enjoy the content and, maybe possibly stop watching that stuff, because it's, to me, it's pointless anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think she's gone now because I was feeling her presence. But I always, I divinate through the cards, because I like to be for sure. Spirit guides, is Sylvia Browne's spirit still here? Yes or no? She might be. Okay, there may be a spirit that I need to. Oh, oh, she actually is still here. Uh, Interesting. Okay, well, you know, hello, JoJo, babe. Hello, JoJo dancing. Hello. Somebody come here and say hello, babe. Okay. So anyway, I don't know how long her spirit is going to stay here, but she's talking to me about some stuff. Um, you know, tell me something I don't know. What does this mean? Six of Swords. Yeah. Uh, she's talking to me about some of the spirits that are in my house and some of the spirits that are haunting me. Because I got the Death in the inverted position and then King of Cups upright. Who is this? And then Two of Wands inverted. So if you need a reading, just visit my website. The link is below in the video description box. Yeah, Z. I can't take that into my consciousness anymore. I can't, and as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much a dead issue as far as I'm concerned. So I'm ready to get into the um I'm ready to get into the she's so funny. I'm ready to get into the other stuff, like, expand my knowledge of what I'm doing here. But look at her. She's backing on her little thing and she perched up there. So look at her. What is she looking at? Yeah. There's actually several spirits that came in. But here's the thing. It's another thing. Faith. I am very like even when negative spirits come in, they go right back out. They linger sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I have faith that, my, guides are gonna, my spirit guides are gonna protect me. So, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. What kitty? She done went upstairs, So, smoke of air and fire of earth. Cleanse and bless this home and earth. Drive away all harm and fear, and only good may interfere. And if spirits threaten us in this place, fight fire by fire and water by water, banish their souls into nothingness and remove their powers until the last trace. Let these evil beings flee through time and through space. All right. Yeah. So it's whatever something came in. It wasn't Sylvia. Her energy wasn't bad, but see, then I had said something about Sylvia liking too. And every single time I bring up Sylvia liking, I sense that Gertrude lady's presence, and she be getting on my damn nerve, like for real, for real. She be getting on my nerve. She tried to tell me that it wasn't her fault and that it was Sylvia's fault. And I'm like, no, in the fuck it wasn't. No, it was not her fault. Like, that's her side of the story. Oh, she was evil, this, and that. How the hell, how the hell a 15, 16-year-old girl gonna be evil? And even if she was needing to be exorcised of a bad spirit, why in the hell would you rape her, beat her? What the rape got to do with it? What does raping her have to do with it? What does mutilating her body have to do with it? So yeah, she's crazy lady. Right, exactly. Exactly. And that was the whole message today, was faith, was having faith, and I mean, I guess, when things happen, when things happen that are unfortunate sometimes, such as, you know, some of the crazy stuff that happens in our world, I think that you still should have faith, which, I've lost a child before. That was all that I could handle. And it was a pregnancy that I had lost years ago before I had Jacob. So, God knows what I can handle for real. So, that's a terrible thing. It is. It's terrible. So I could see why a person losing a child would make them lose faith. I was like, honestly, or losing anybody, going through any kind of trauma can make you lose faith. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I keep seeing now I'm seeing my cat still and she ain't even there. Mary, what are you doing? What is it? Come here. This cat is one of the most mysterious cats ever. I shit y'all not. Sometimes she's there, but she's not there. Like, I'll be thinking that she's sitting somewhere and she won't be there. It'll just be something that looks like her. Or I'll see it out the corner of my eye. So my cat is like it's not just one cat, it's like three or four or five different cat people, and it's cat familiars. And so it's like but it's kind of all good. And one night when I had first gotten her, she had went on some kind of travel, and that cat was gone. Like, we had looked for her everywhere. The cat had literally disappeared in thin air. And then finally, like an hour later, she pops up out of nowhere. It's like, you think you slick. I know you done went somewhere. So, cats are really powerful and mysterious that way. And, I've actually picked up on people trying to send evil spirits to my cat, but she's much, much more powerful than that, to where she would turn on me. Um, she wouldn't have been allowed to come in my home if that was the case. So, you know, where'd you go, Mary? What are you doing, sweetie? We got some Mary Cam. Go here, say hi. You see how smart she is? You hear her say hi. Yeah, it does. It does, man. That's just like, I know that for me, my faith is unmovable. Um, and I don't even think about, the only foresight that I have is covering my whole family. That's it. I don't have any other foresight. Having any other type of foresight might be bad, so I just cover my family and my loved ones constantly, you know. So I don't see them, that's anybody that I care about. I don't see them as doing bad. I don't see, if I do see them doing bad, I contact them and go, hey, what's up? But I don't, because a lot of people have these uncontrollable thoughts. You got to have that in check. I don't ever envision my people doing bad, ever, not ever. So if they are doing bad, it's because, it ain't because of me, because I don't think that way. Because your mind is very powerful. The psychic mind can be very powerful. What, Mary? Come here. Come here, Mary. What is it? All right, y'all, I gotta go. Cause look at her. Look at Miss Crazy over there. Uh-huh. I gotta go, y'all. What's your favorite affirmation to boost your faith, Goddess Jamila? Good one. Let me think. Let me think. One that I say all the time is I am free from fear and doubt, casting want and misery out, knowing now all good supply ever comes from realms on high. I am the hands of God's own fortune, treading forth the treasures of light, now receiving full abundance to supply each need of life, which is not just money. It's also healing energy. What are you doing, honey? You want mama to get you some? No, don't drink. Oh, Lord have mercy. This cat, y'all, this cat is asking me for fresh water. I got to give her some fresh water. I got to go, y'all. I want to get her one of those cat fountains, though, that constantly filters the water and, you just put filtered water into it. Yeah, I want to get her one of those. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, definitely hit the thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate it. I have been wanting to get into some murder cases. As far as with readings, I know that somebody, and I haven't done this reading yet, wanted me to do a reading on the Cecil Hotel. Um, I haven't done it because, but I do want to get into more of the murder cases because, they are very intriguing. I'm kind of into that, you know. So I think and then I was also thinking about doing a celebrity reading, and you never know, I may do a reading on Sylvia Browne, but I mean, I pretty much said it all. I'd have to ask her permission first, though. Just like I don't think that she minded me talking about her. But I had Michael Jackson's permission to read him. And then I'm also supposed to be reading Prince. And, Prince is actually one of my angel guides. Like believe it or not. Yes, she did. She did, and she was good at it. Yes, she did. She was good at it. And I don't say, all her years and years of work for people to discredit her based upon like a few mistakes, like, come on now. And I think that she is bothered by that. I do. I think that it bothers her. And so, maybe that's why I came on here and decided to talk about it. But I think faith over everything. Like I said, I've had to do readings for people to where I've seen them lose their house, or I've done those kind of readings, and they'll go, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" You know, the future can always be changed for the better. The future can always be changed for the better. And sometimes spirits will run you up out of your damn house, though, and it might be for the betterment. you know I know that spirits can't run me out of no house. One thing I can tell y'all, here's what I want y'all to know, is that these houses were built over lines and ley lines and portals and stuff. And so it's everywhere. Even if you build a brand new damn house, okay, even if you build a brand new house, you're building it over dead people, you're building it over some kind of history, you're building it over some kind of portal or vortex. And so it's something none of us can get away from. Kind of like that poltergeist thing, but I think that it's all about having the proper protection. Because like I said, upstairs, right outside of my bedroom, it's a portal, and it's directly, so it doesn't come from inside of the house. It actually comes from the outside in the ground, and it goes up the house. It goes up the house. Okay. So that's why I had to put a um, a pentagram up there, right up there, so that stuff can't just get in. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Okay, y'all. Well, I gotta go. We can muse about this later. I know that whoever had a beef with her, it ain't got nothing to do with Jamila. I got the right to have my own opinion, okay, about what I feel. But we all know that some people, they just, it's just all about their hatred. And I'm just not focused on that. I'm really not. I think that if you are somebody that works in the spiritual field, you know, I think that people should, take a lot of inspiration from her, from her story, and understand that when people do things like that, they do it because they're afraid. People are afraid of things that they don't understand, and that's understandable. So, anyway, y'all, I will catch y'all later. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Okay. Monday is actually the best day of the week. So I will see y'all later. Okay. All right, y'all. Blessings.